Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be taking you through the process of making this short. If this sounds like something you're interested in, keep on watching and let's get started. So guys, these are the things I'll be needing and these are the measurements needed. And guys, I want just this XO part showing in my short, so I'll go ahead to fold my fabric this way. And then I'll go ahead to take the length of these shorts. I'm going to mark 18 inches. The length of the short is 16 inches, so the 2 inches will be for folding and joining allowance. And for the wideness, I divided my hip circumference by 4 and added 5 inches to that, since it's going to be a free short. Now just go ahead to cut it out this way, and the reason I'm cutting it out is to make it more easier to work on. All I did was subtract 2 inches and mark 18 inches for the length of this short, as you see. Then for the wideness, like I said earlier, I divided my hip circumference by 4 and then I added 5 inches to that. Now the next thing I'll go ahead to do is to rule a 0.5 inch line here to serve as my starting line. And from this starting line, I'll be taking all my vertical measurements. Taking note of that 2 inches for the band, I'll mark down to my hip line, which is 9 inches. Then I'll also mark down to my crouch depth, which is 11 inches. Then to the length of this short, which is 16 inches. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Then I'll use my ruler to connect the lines together. So guys, here we have our waistline, our hip line, our crotch line, and the length of this short. Now coming to the hip line, I'll go ahead to divide my hip circumference by 4. Then I'll add 2.5 inches for ease. I'll mark that on my hip line. I'll repeat the same thing on my waistline, since I'll be using elastic on the waist, then on the crotch line as well. Then after marking it, I'll go ahead to use my ruler to join the 3 lines together this way. Now I'm coming to the crotch line. For the crotch extension, I'll divide my hip circumference by 4. That will give me 9 inches. I'll divide it by 4 again and I'll have 2.25 inches. I'll go ahead to mark it there. I'll come out from this area by 0.5 inch. Then I'll go ahead to connect from the hip line to the crotch extension with a curve, just the way you see me doing. Now after that, I'll go ahead to measure what I have here on the crotch line. Then I'll subtract 1 inch from that and mark on the length of the short. The next thing I'll go ahead to do is to use my ruler to connect it this way. Then I'll go ahead to cut it out. Before I'll cut this out, I'll go ahead to fold the hem of this short. I'll fold it in so that while folding it later, there will not be shortage. I'll just go ahead to fold it this way. Then I'll go ahead to cut it out. Now opening it up, this is how we have it looking like. Now it's time to cut out the back, and I've already gone ahead to fold my fabric for that. I just made sure that the fabric I folded was about 2.5 or 3 inches bigger than the front, and it's also higher than the front. So when I'm sure of that, I'll just go ahead to use the front to trace out the back the way you see me doing. Now coming to the crotch line, I'll go ahead to extend my line this way. Then I'll go ahead to mark 2 inches. I'll repeat the same thing on the hip line. I'll go ahead to mark 2 inches on the hip line, and on the waistline I'll repeat the same thing. Now I'll go ahead to connect these together just the way you see me doing. Now coming to this point, I'll mark 2 inches towards the down of the short. Then I'll go ahead to connect with my ruler. Coming to the waistline, I'll come up by 1.5 inches just the way you see me doing. Then I'll extend the line this way and connect it to the waistline of the front. The next thing is to cut it out. And this is it after I was done cutting it out, and this is it for just the cutting of the short. I'll take this over to the sewing machine now to secure the crotch area of both the front and the back. As you can see, I've gone ahead to do that. The next thing I'll go ahead to do now is to cut out a pocket for this short. For the length of the pocket, I made use of 9 inches, and for the wideness I made use of 8.5 inches. The next thing is to come to this area to mark 1 inch. Then I'll go ahead to mark my pocket opening of 6 inches. Then I went ahead to place my palm this way and cover out the shape I want my pocket to have, and then go ahead to cut it out. Now that is it for cutting the pocket. Now the next thing is to face my pocket. I marked 1 inch from the waistline, and then I placed one of the pockets right sides facing each other just the way you see. Then I'll go ahead to pin it down. Then I'll repeat the same thing for the other side and for the back as well. Now at this point, I've gone ahead to attach the pockets to the shorts. The next thing is to shaping the short. I'll use 1 inch to shaping the short, and around the pocket area I'll use 0.5 inch to shaping that area, making sure not to stitch on the pocket opening of 6 inches. I'll shaping both sides of the short, then I'll bring it back for us to see. And this is it when I was done shaping. Now I'll take this over to the sewing machine to use 1 inch to sew down the crotch area. As you can see, I've done that. I just got it to turn this over to the right side this way. This is how we have it looking. Now just go ahead to take the measurements I have around the waist of this shirt, and I was having 47 inches, and I've gone ahead to make a band for that. Now I'll just go ahead to place where I notched on the band to the center front of the shirt. Then I'll go ahead to sew around. I'll make sure to stretch while sewing so that the band will go around the shirt. After attaching the band, I'll just go ahead to fold the hem of the shirt. You can see our shirt is ready. Please guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do well to subscribe, like and share this video, and also turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever we post new videos. See you in my next one. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Bye.